For exercise P4-1, we're going to be creating a drawing this week. So we've got several different types of files that we need to create to get there. First thing I need to do is create the part, then I'm going to create the drawing, and then I'm going to create the PDF, which is what you're actually going to be submitting. So first I'm just going to go to metric, standard millimeter IPT. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over how to do the models, because the models should be pretty much self-explanatory by now. You guys have been doing this for a little while and have gotten pretty good at the modeling aspects of the software. So I'm going to take a few shortcuts as I go through here, doing some of these as well, just to make it a little bit quicker. But what I really want you to see is I want you to see how everything kind of falls together and where everything falls into place on these particular parts. So in coming through here, I need this to come down, is it 15, and then I'm just going to close this off. Now for something like this, I can just use two separate extrusions for this particular thing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the sketch, and I'm going to extrude the entire thing going the other way, a total distance of 10. And then I'm going to share that sketch and extrude the front piece coming forward 20. And then right click to turn off the visibility of my sketch. Now I'm going to save this. Now when you're saving these, create a new folder for what you're saving. And this one here I'm going to call P4-1. Now the reason I'm creating a new folder is so that I can keep everything together. So P4-1, this is my part file. I'm then going to come up here and I'm going to click on New again. And now I'm going to come down here until I get to ANSI millimeter IDW, which is going to be my drawing file. And I'm going to say Create. Now there's something that we're pretty much going to need to do on just about every exercise that we get. First things first is right click on Sheet and go to Edit. Once you go to Edit, change it to an A-sized format. Some of them we may need to use a B, but A is going to work pretty good for most everything. And then click on Default Border, hold Control, click on ANSI Large, right click, and delete those two as well. So now I'm going to go to Base, and I'm going to place my front, right, top, and throw in an isometric view just for fun. So at this point I can begin dimensioning, so I'm going to click on Annotate, and then I will click on Dimension. So I know I want this point to this point, and realistically all I need to do is make sure that I match all the dimensions in the book. One thing that I want you to notice is as I'm moving left, all of my lines turn into dotted lines. This is based off the ANSI Y14.5 standards. So at an even integral, these are going to come out and automatically dash. So I know there's about 2 dimensions that I want over here, so I'm just going to come out to the second dash, place that. I don't need to say anything in the dialog box. Come out with my next dimension, which is going to be 30. I've got a dimension across here, which is going to be 40. I have my overall width dimension, which I'll put up here, which is going to be 60, and I don't want this to come up every time, so I'm just going to uncheck Edit Dimension when created. So now I can put in my other overall over here, which is 30. 3 main dimensions that you want to make sure that you always have is your overall width, your overall height, and your overall depth. If you forget a dimension, it's not all that critical unless it's one of those. So here we've got the 15. I can dimension the other side of this right here at my 25. I know that this segment right here is 10. So in looking at the book, I've got my 40, I've got my 30, I've got my 60, I've got my 10, my 30, my 15, my 25. I've got the 40 in for this. So it looks like I have every dimension except for the one that the book forgot, and that is the 15 on here. So I can now come in here and actually put in the 15 dimension right there. The isometric, that's really just for looks. So if I double click on this, I can left click right here and turn it into a shaded model or do whatever I want to do to that. So verify, make sure that you've got all your dimensions. If you've got all your dimensions, you can go ahead and save that file as well. Save it in the same folder that you created the first file in. Once you have the drawing complete, this is where it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to come up here to the application button, then we're going to go to export PDF. Save it in the same file and hit save. Now, printing out the PDF file is essentially the exact same thing as printing to a piece of paper. Just like with a piece of paper, if you update anything on your model file, your PDF file does not automatically update. So if you get into a situation where you need to make a change, go in, delete the PDF file, make the change to your drawing, and then recreate the PDF file. But that PDF file is going to be what you're submitting for this week, for this particular assignment. So make sure that you've got everything in. The last step is creating the PDF and submitting the PDF.